The Knicks let that game go. Neesmith gonna have 30 points. He gonna make 5 threes in a row, and that's how you gonna win? I'm willing to bet my money that I earn in NFL, all that I earn. All that.
All of it.
I want to earn that and bet that. Anybody that got my Twitter handle or DM, whatever you want to do, I want to bet some dinners or some cash, whatever you want to do, because I believe that the Knicks is going to win this series.
Epic game. Literally history was made yesterday. The Pacers, they got it done. Shout out Darnell, you Pacers got it done. You know what I'm saying? Not a big deal, not a big deal.
That time.
Slick, I want to not just talk about the game, but I want to talk about the game in a different manner than every other show will talk about the game, because everybody's talking about the game. Now, you are the most brilliant mind, so want to hear what you have to say first. Pacers, did they win the game coming back from down 14, 2:45 left, or Knicks, did they blow it?
No, I'm going to say that the Pacers won it, and simply because when I see a lot of unlikely events, it's hard for me to blame the losing team when there are things that you can't predict and you're not sure that they can be replicated. I'm going to start with Aaron Neesmith hitting 6 of 7 threes in the fourth quarter. That's an out-of-body experience. I can go to Tyrese Halliburton and that crazy shot with the toe on the line. It hits the back heel and goes straight up and comes back down. If that shot doesn't go down, then we're not going to overtime and we're having a completely different conversation. Yes, there were mistakes that were made down the line. Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns both missed free throws in the final, OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns both missed free throws in the final 14 seconds. Jalen Brunson had a couple of turnovers in overtime. But every time the Pacers, once this became a game at the end, every time the Pacers threw a punch, the Knicks counter-punched. So they were going back and forth, and there were just a couple things that went the Pacers' way ultimately that decided the outcome. So did the Knicks have a big lead? Yeah, we've seen throughout these playoffs, teams have really big leads where you think the game is over, and then it's not. And sometimes the game is still won, and sometimes it's lost. So all in all, I'm going to give Pacers credit for a incredible, miraculous finish to take this game.
I'm giving the Pacers the credit as well because it was a historical comeback. It wasn't like the Knicks had 20 turnovers in the last 5 minutes of the game, and that's how the Pacers came back. We saw history yesterday. Neesmith, 6 threes in the fourth quarter, has never been done before in a playoff game. He went 6 of 7 from the three-point line. Halliburton went 1 of 2 from the three-point line. Truly, without an inch, went 2 of 3 from the three-point line. So because it took not only a historical effort, but a Herculean effort, that's why, to me, you got to give credit to the Pacers. Could the Knicks have made a free throw here by Karl Anthony Towns and a free throw there by OG Anunoby within the last 14 seconds? Absolutely. But based upon what the Pacers were able to do, I don't know if we'll see it duplicated. Like Slick said, I don't know if we'll see it replicated. It was history. The Knicks allowed the Pacers to come back, if you want to suggest that. But Neesmith hitting 6 tray balls, he had a sci-fi type of performance, like something you could only write about, read about, or create on a video game if you're playing it on the easiest level. So with that in mind, I got to give the Pacers the credit.
I'm tripping here. Did we watch the same game?
We did.
We all watched the same game.
What are we talking about?
Same channel and
the
everything.
Knicks let that game go. If you watch that game, the Knicks dominated from A to B to C. They just didn't close out on D. They were the more talented team, check. They were the more physical team, check. They played the better defense. They played the better offense. They were up 14 points with 2 minutes left in the game. What are we talking about? It had to be the Knicks losing it. First of all, I'm going to start with the turnovers first. So if you watch the game, they had 15 turnovers that equal to 27 points.
Yep.
When you're playing a game like the Pacers that they feed off momentum, they don't have no real superstar other than, I will say, Tyrese is probably emerged to that superstar. They're like a good college team. One good player and a lot of good role players. You can't give them momentum. That's one thing. The second thing is, y'all missed 12 free throws in this game. It ain't from just the bigs. It wasn't like Robinson was shooting free throws. It was all of the starters. OG missing free throws. Brunson missed some free throws. Karl Anthony Towns missed some free throws. Y'all got to make these. You missing 12? Miss half. It's the playoffs. Miss half. Eastern Conference Finals. Another thing I want to talk about. When you watch this game, all the players did what they're supposed to do for the Pacers, right? Turner, he had his average. Every game he's going to give you like 15 points, something like that, couple threes. That's what he does. Yeah. Siakam, he going to give you 17, 18, maybe 19, at the most, maybe 20 points. He going to give you that. He gave you that last night, right? Neymar had his little couple buckets, right? I give you that. But Neesmith, He gonna get you 30 points, and y'all telling me the way the Pacers are gonna win is Nesmith gonna have 30 points. He gonna go 8 from 9 for 3. He gonna make 5 threes in a row, and that's how you gonna win. And y'all sitting there telling me that the Pacers want to snatch that game? How?
Did he make them? He made them, right?
I mean, I can agree with you on that. The Knicks win this series, but the Knicks ain't winning this game, and they ain't winning this game because of the Pacers. We can't keep coming up here saying every team that blow a lead is because of the opposing team. Listen, man, my man can't. Sometimes you're hot. We all have played basketball, and you just get cooking. My man, Aaron Nesmith, because I thought Reggie Miller took his headset off and came out there.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't miss. It happened. If one of those shots, no, for real though, if one of those shots miss and bounce off the side of the rim, the game is over. But he came down and he made all of those shots. At one point in the game, we was calling, forget Halliburton, forget Siakam, get the ball to Aaron. That's what I was saying. Let him take the last shot because he had it going. They made the big shots in the game. Every team misses free throws. Indiana missed some free throws in the game, too. Every team missed some free throws all the time to put the game away. Come on. New York, you just came off of a series to where the first 2 games you was down 20 points and you finished the game and you beat the Celtics. And that's one of the main reasons. You here now. And then you come out here on your home court and you don't finish a basketball game, but you didn't finish the basketball game strictly because of the shot making from the Indiana Pacers. And then they went into overtime and they made them shots too. But I can't keep saying just because you blow a lead, it's the team that blow a lead's fault. No, these dudes got shot makers on their team too. And Aaron Miller made them shots and he went to work, man. And it was big time shots. I do agree they in trouble for the series though.
Easy. Yeah, easy. Let's not talk about that. That's not even close. But what I'm saying is, when you look at the game, right, even when the Knicks came back against the Celtics. It was a fourth quarter, right? And you see him chop the lead down. Chop it, chop it, chop it, chop it. You got a whole quarter to do that. We talking about 14 points in 2 minutes, James. And basketball, how it works, yo, look, we're going to play defense. I'm sorry, we're gonna run the clock first. We're going to get a good shot. If we miss, cool. We're going to play defense. We're going to rebound. We're going to do the same thing all over again. They got to foul us, make free throws. So I look at this game as like fundamentals. The fundamentals for Knicks was not there. So if you're talking about a fourth quarter collapse, I'm going to get that to the Pacers because y'all earned that. Y'all did everything you had to do. But some of the stuff is like, come on, man. Like, I want to bet that Nesmith is not going to go out there and do that again. I'm going to bet that when it gets to clutch time and we up 14 points, 2 minutes left, or even better, 9 points with 50 seconds left, we're going to rebound and shoot free throws. That's how basketball works.
Here's why I got to tell you, it's not a safe bet.
It's not a safe bet.
It might not be a bad bet, but it's not a safe bet.
Ready to bet.
Here's why I got to tell them that. Viewers at home, listen to nothing else I say today besides this point if you can only listen to one thing. Teams are 1 in 1,657 when being down by 7 or more points in the final minute of a game. But excuse me, I said that wrong. Teams are actually 4 in 1,657 because the Pacers have done it 3 times this playoffs alone. 3 times have the Pacers won games this postseason alone, meaning in the last 12 games, 3 times have the Pacers done this, being down by 7+ in the last minute or less of a game. So the reason I say it's not a safe bet to suggest what the Pacers did last night, they cannot or will not do it again, is because they did it in the Bucks series round 1, then they did it in the Cavs series round 2, and then they did it in the Knicks series round 3. This is what the Pacers do. So it's not even an outlier anymore, 2-5. At this point in time, this is the norm. This is Pacers basketball. Will it be Nesmith again? No, I doubt it. Right. But it might be Nembhard. It might be Miles Turner. It might be Halliburton. It might be Siakam. Will it be Nesmith again? I doubt it. But it might be Toppin. It might be. Will it be Nesmith again? No, but it might be somebody else. But the Pacers have done it historically.
I know, but I mean, down 14 is. I don't care if they did it 32 times in the postseason. Down 14, like that's tough. And I give the Pacers credit because the Pacers made them shots. It ain't like we watching the game and they like, dang, they messed up on defense. You know, the rotation was bad. Dude just making the shots. Nesmith was just making the shots. He was making the threes. Halliburton was making the right plays and the right. They were just making shots. So, and obviously, you know, the Knicks helped out with missing the free throws and that. But it's tough for me to sit here and say, even though they did it 3 times, that down 14, the Knicks blow that lead again.
I just wish I wish we had a camera on and we had the Pacers collectively watching the show right now and see them looking at this show and going, I guess we're going to have to do it again to prove these guys that this is not an accident. This is what we do.
And you know what else they're saying? We can't go down 14 with 2 minutes left.
Well, no doubt. Well,
Yeah.
but actually they're saying, yeah, we can because we know how to do this. We don't want to. We don't want to.
Yeah.
But we know. I mean, look, this is who they are. And yeah, Aaron Nesmith may not be the guy. Andrew Nembhard shoots 50% from three. I've seen him hit big shots. This is what makes them so unique from the teams that we're used to seeing at this level, at this time in the year, which is you don't know where it's coming from. But they're in the Eastern Conference Finals for the second time in a row. That tells me it's coming from somewhere on a pretty consistent basis.
Well, this is my thing with the Pacers. I like the attitude they have. They a tough group, right? And I think now that Halliburton's gonna get his credit because he deserves it. He's a bad mother. But this is what you want if you're the opposing team. You want to have a lead, not just a lead, but a 14-point lead with 2 minutes left. You want to have a 9-point lead with 50 seconds left. You want that. So all I'm saying is like, yes, the Pacers, they did their thing, and I can't take credit from nobody. But as I look at the game and I watched it, I'm like, man, if you just do the fundamentals, what you're supposed to do, and just do half of them, and you rebound and you don't turn the ball over, and you make free throws. If you make free throws, this is not even a conversation. You know what happens? Man, it was a great ending, and the Knicks won. As I watched the whole game,
it was still a great ending.
I felt so comfortable and encouraging with the Knicks because I like all the matchups the Knicks have for them. Scoring it ain't gonna be a problem for the Knicks, right? The thing is, y'all keep talking about, the Pacers, they're gonna score. I'm like, where? Because Brunson went out the game, and they still was scoring. Brunson came in the game, they were still scoring. So I'm thinking, like, okay, and the Knicks, I didn't think the Knicks played great, but you played well enough that you was up 14 points with 2 minutes left. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. So all I'm saying is I want to take that scenario because as I look at the matchups, I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to have his type of series because he's a good player. You can't even get around that, right? I think Mikal Bridges is doing a great job with him. Rick Carlisle found ways to get him open. Like, we're going to do double picks. We're going to get him off him, and he started creating. But after him, like, I want to bet on these other guys. I want to bet on them other guys to do that again.
But that's the problem, Shady, because the Pacers proved to me that, like, the other guys are stronger than your two. Period. When I'm thinking about it now, asking y'all, is it a bad game or a bad sign? I think it was a bad sign for the Knicks. I think it was a bad sign for the Knicks because Cat's not giving you 32 every night. He's just not consistent enough, and he's not a smart enough basketball player. Cat gave you 30+. Brunson, he'll give you 40 at least another time or two. But 40 is a great game from Brunson. 30+ is a great game for Cat. Bridges in the first half could not miss. Bridges gave you 16. OG, he gave it to you late, but he still gave you 16. And the Knicks still found a way to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. So, to me, it wasn't just a bad game that the Knicks played or a bad ending. That's a bad sign because you got 30 plus 40. You got 75 from Cat and Brunson and still lost that game. That's a bad sign because you might not get it again.
Okay, great job. Now go to the other side. See, so I love the breakdown with the Knicks. Now you go to the Pacers and break that whole thing down.
Pacers, I believe Nembhard's going to give you 15 again.
That's what he averages, something like that.
Siakam's going to give you 18 again.
That's what he averages.
Miles Turner's going to give you 15 again.
That's what he averages.
I don't necessarily think Halliburton's going to give you 30+.
But 20.
Yeah, he'll give you 20.
He can score though. He can score 20, 25. He'll give you 25. He can score.
The thing with the Pacers for me is you don't know where it's going to come from, but you do know that it's going to come. It's going to come from somewhere. It might end up being Top and having an arbitrary 16-point game. It might end up being McLaurin having a game. You don't know where it's going to come from, but to me, you do know it's going to show up eventually. Slick, bad game or bad sign for the Knicks?
You bet on that, boy. You're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. You bet like that.
I'm going to say it's a bad outcome. Change it a little bit.
I like that better.
Because I can't say that the Knicks had a bad game, right? They shot 51%.
Yeah, they did.
They had 15 turnovers. That's only 2 more than their regular season average and their playoff average, right? They came at a bad time, but overall, it wasn't like they were throwing the ball all over the yard, right? And they had some unfortunate ones, like the ball grazes off of Jalen's fingertips and goes out of bounds. So they had a number of bad things that happened, and Pacers just couldn't miss down the stretch. Yeah. And it wasn't like they were missing rotations or whatever, or guys were wide open. Aaron Nesmith was just on one. Like, if he was going to be able to get the ball off, it was going to go in. And then ultimately you get down to a scramble shot by Tyrese Halliburton to force overtime. And you know, Shady, look, missed free throws happen. Like, turnovers happen. There are certain mistakes that happen under the pressure of the playoffs. They did so many things well, the Knicks did, that to suggest that they didn't play a perfect game and therefore they lost in overtime, I don't think is reasonable considering the circumstances.
Hey, would you say the Pacers grade their game? How they play? I just want to know.
They play
Good game, bad game,
good,
great.
not well. Because defensively, they can play much, much better. They're a much better defensive team than they showed early on. That lead was built on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say bad game, but I mean, we all know it's just a bad finish. I thought the Knicks played well. I thought the Pacers really played their best. I just thought defensively, we want to talk about defense for the Pacers. I just thought they can't guard the Knicks. That's what I thought. I just thought Brunson is too much. He's creating. He's getting to the bucket. Karl Anthony Towns is getting to the bucket. I would have had to take my man out the game because you're not sliding your feet standing. Miles Turner had big time game on the line. We need you to rebound and all that. No, somebody else to rebound because you can't guard nobody. You can't stay in front of Karl Anthony Towns. He was getting to the bucket at will. So I'm going to say bad game, really bad finish for the Knicks because when it was 2 minutes left, they was down 14. I was watching the game saying the Knicks is in trouble. They might win one. The Pacers is in trouble. They might win one game. The Knicks did not play their best, in my humble opinion, and they were scoring at will. And they was up by 14 with 2 minutes left in the game. I'm like, the Pacers, they might be outnumbered in this series right here. And then obviously we know what happened in the last 2 minutes. They came down, couldn't miss a shot, and they won the game. So I'm just going to say it's a bad game, really a bad finish. I think this is going to be a good series, but I still like the Knicks.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to go bad sign, though, for the Knicks, right? They gotta fix this. It's playoff basketball. And it's not just playoffs, it's the Eastern Conference Finals. Y'all ain't been there in years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you take the big dog. I know that the Cavs are supposed to be the #1 seed, but the real big dog was the Celtics. You take them out early, too. Real early. And then you get to a point where it's like y'all had comebacks in the fourth quarter. Now, it was a little different. 20-point, this is different. But now, like the fundamentals part, you got the clutch player in basketball. I think right now is probably my favorite. The fourth quarter, I don't care who the MVP is, you know what I'm saying, from the voters. The ball need to be in Brunson's hand because he's that good. And he's just different than everybody else, in my opinion. You got him on your team, right? And you got a veteran team, you got a really good coach. Y'all need to close this game out because you don't really get second chances. So I need them to fix this thing because this would be a big, big sign for me. But going forward, if they get it fixed, they will have no problems with the Pacers.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.